So we're gonna have it done properly to match the fire department lettering, and it will say Pickens in reflective black lettering. That will be done at a professional decal shop.
Okay, Kyle here. Just a little interjection. Use some Rupes DA course on a faux wool 1-inch pad. Not crazy aggressive, but was able to get a lot of it off. Any of you detailing guys know, I mean, there I touched it with a polisher, but this thing, it could benefit from a wet sanding first. But got all the residue off, and it looks pretty phenomenal compared to what it was. Even softened up these scratches, you can barely see them anymore. Just getting the headlight relay harness wired in. I found it makes it a lot easier to do headlight flashers with relay harness. That way you're not butchering the factory wiring like the previous owner did here.
Yeah, making it a lot better. So we also got keep ourselves well fed while working on the vehicle. Got some delicious burgers grilling on up on the charcoal grill. The only way to do it, in my opinion. Looking at the headlight flashers we got from Ross and Eric at Chase Classic Motors. I got the giant pile of Rock Auto boxes here, so we got our work cut out for us. It's a Sound Off brand. Let's see that real quick. So we're going to be putting on the car for the headlight flashers. We also decided to add some thick cut bacon. So we're testing the different patterns out.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. See, I want the alternating slower flash, but that's interesting.
Double flash.
It's kind of neat, but like a lot of these older videos, I've seen a lot of them in this era just have a single back and forth. That is a neat one. I almost think that first one with that single back and forth is probably my favorite and the most appropriate for the era car.
I got us freaking
Oh,
out.
that's what I wanted right there, actually. That slow flash is absolutely what I was going for. What is that, a 58 per minute or 90? It's about 58. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's like a 60.
I know other people on this are going to watch this video like, oh, I like the other ones. And I get it, I like those too, but a lot.
56.
56. I love that. I think that's what we're going to go. I think that's what we're going to go with. Absolutely fantastic. I know other people probably have their own preference, but this is what I want to go with, and probably was the most correct of what this car would have had.
Okay, so unfortunately the sound off signal headlight flasher failed on us. It worked for a minute, and one of the solid state relays inside must have popped. Because when the low beams came on, 3 lights came on and started popping fuses in our relay harness. So we got the Wayland hooked up. It's a little late manufacturing date, but it'll be fine. Right now it's set to a 90 single flash.
Which I think I'm actually like better. The 56 was just a little too slow.
I agree.
And I think this is actually pretty good looking pattern, and what you'd see in a lot of vehicles of that era, pretty typical of them.
I agree. So we're going to get everything tidied up here and then see if we can get normal headlight functions out of it. I'm not sure why this one failed.
All right, Kyle, so give me a little bit of an update on what's going on with this car.
I think we got the problem taken care of. Isolated an issue from the low beam wiring. I'm hoping that it actually fixes it. We're going to test out the Wayland. I'm 90% sure that that's the reason that the sound off actually fried in June. So I think it was a good unit to begin with. However, this car's wonderful wiring is what fried it in the first place. So we'll see.
These old emergency vehicles can be a joy to work on wiring wise. It all depends on who upfitted them and everything. So I know some of my Crown Vics I've owned over the past, there's been parasitic draws and just all sorts of weird stuff going on. Tidying up the wiring, yeah, Kyle's being funny inside the car. He's putting the old radio back in he got working, which will show off soon. tidying it up with some loom and loom tape. I like this stuff to look nice and neat versus stuff just hanging around everywhere. And then we're gonna mount the headlight flasher. So I think it looks the best to have everything professionally done as much as you can do it. I'm not a big fan of when people do installs and there's wires dangling down and everywhere. Like, nice and clean is the way to go. Well, here's the car's original radio. It stopped lighting up, and Kyle took it apart. And what did you find inside when you took it apart?
Two of the boards that are kind of sandwiched on top of each other, one was touching the other one, so I was able to bring it up and put some Kapton tape in between the two.
So that's cleaned up, and all we need to do is light up, not transmit or anything. This is the original radio, and then that Kenwood was put in later. So
this is what I'm working on with the Kenwood. It's a noise filter with capacitor and whatnot. So basically what that's going to do is it's going to keep the emergency equipment from interfering with the radio. We've had some ignition sense issues with it, so whether it's being typical Kenwood or there's another underlying issue, but hopefully this is going to take care of that.
Yeah, sometimes you go to turn the emergency lights on and the radio would shut off and then turn right back on and beep real loud. So I'm hoping that does the trick for that. I appreciate that. So it'll be nice to get this back in. So pretty nice. We have everything back in the car, including the Motorola, along with the Kenwood. I know the last few videos I didn't show off the Motorola because Kyle was working on it. So let's try it all out. So that's perfect. It lights up. That's all we needed to do. They light up. They're there for show. Looks great. So it's much appreciated, Kyle. Thank you so much. He added those you said they're noise filter capacitors, or so that way when I start turning on stuff like the lights, they don't shut off and then turn back on with the voltage change. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, this one was added on later in the years in the service life of this car. And I know some people are like, well, you're contradicting yourself here. This car is being restored to the 90s appearance. And I get that, but I also think it's important to have some of the original equipment this car came with. So we are going to keep that, even though it's not original to the 90s. It was added and came with the car. So I think it'd be kind of neat to keep it in there.
Kenwood's a VHF and Motorola's a high band. Yep.
No, thank you for the information, Kyle. He knows a lot more about this stuff than I do. So just with that all lit up, this just looks really great. This whole deck does. Well, we've got the electrical stuff done, so now we're starting to work onto the mechanical portion of the car. We got a pretty bad leak on this power steering pump. We've already taken off the alternator, which the alternator on this car is in pretty good shape. It looks relatively newer. I got a newer pump from Brock Auto for the police package. I guess it has a bigger reservoir or something's different with it to make a police package. It was the last one they had, so I mean that's pretty. Yeah, it's leaking from all over the place. We also got a new, where's it at? I got a new line in here somewhere around here. Here it is. Like I said, it's just Rock Auto Paradise over here. I love Rock Auto. So we got a new line for that. Yeah, it's not a sponsorship video, but it could be. As much parts as I'm buying from them. We also got a, I saved this from a junkyard years ago around here, for the air intake. And, the old one is over here. It's actually got.
That one to make a rain air intake out of it.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of cracks in it. So from all the, the heat down there. So down south. So that'd be nice. I'm glad I grabbed that years ago from a junkyard. Someone just told me to grab it. So dig into this. I'm gonna replace this very leaky and nasty and very loud power steering pump, which is, a lot of Fords just have loud ones to begin with. So we're gonna clean the throttle body out tomorrow. She still sounds a little weird to start up, a little struggling. So we're going to see if we got vacuum line issues and clean the throttle body out, see what we can't do. We have a little more light now, thanks to my mother-in-law for getting me this awesome. It's magnetic, clips, has hooks. It's rechargeable too. So it's a nice, I don't know the brand offhand, but it makes it a lot easier. And we're trying to figure out how to get this power steering pump off now. It's now we said I have an update. Not really an update. We're trying to get the bolts off on this thing. So always something fun. Thanks to the late model restoration YouTube channel, we've got this pulley going to be coming off this power steering pump. This is not an easy task. Using that pulley puller set, we were able to get it off.
Thanks, Harbor Freight.
Yeah. It's not perfect. I'd love to have actual parts cleaner, but there's some brake clean and stuff. I kind of cleaned up the bracket for the power steering pump. Just a little bit better. There's the old Ford logo. So no one's really gonna even see this, but I just wanted to clean it up, get some of the buildup up. This thing's been leaking for quite a while, so it was definitely time to replace this. All right, so I'm getting like the alternator bracket back on right now. We've got the power steering pump bracket and everything. I cleaned it off as good as I could. Looks really great, new lines, so this will really be a lot better. The other one was really loud. It was leaking, all the lines were leaking. The pump itself was leaking in some areas, and we still got to get the pulley lined up better. So yeah, a little bit of ways to go still, but you know, part of the fun of a project car. Well, new pumps on, new fluid added, old fluid taken out, and it is so much quieter than it used to be. So thank you, Kyle, for the help with that. And the fun we had with getting the pulley on and off, which seemed to be the longest time constraint. So still moving ahead on more projects with the car.
Learned a lot.
Now we're doing, what's next?
Ignition coil.
Ignition coil. Fun times.
Might as well.
Might as well, right? So we were almost done. We got everything back together, and the power steering line started leaking pretty bad down here where it goes into the rack. So we took it off, and there's a flare size difference. So nobody carries this part apparently anymore. It's all special order, and we're just afraid we're going to order the wrong part. So we bought a flare forming tool, and we're doing the flare to hopefully match the old one better. It's actually wider than this one was we got from Rock Auto. So yeah, kind of interesting. Hopefully it works, because it was spewing pretty bad. But otherwise, like I said, this is quiet. It's great. So a little bit more work than we wanted to do, but you know, just trying to get this done right.
Okay. Turns out, just using the flaring tool, cleaning up that flare a little bit, it worked. This line is a total pain, if any of you have ever done that. But it's no longer leaking. Nice and clean. Every line is replaced. Pumps replaced. Brackets clean. We're good to go. We're going to move on to the intake. So we're two happy people right now.
Yeah, that was a lot of, how many days are we working on?
3.
3 days. We also worked on Scott's 97, wiring up the light bar on that car too. So we've been a little busy. That's the throttle body, how dirty that is. So yeah, definitely time to get that off and give it a good cleaning. These old wiper blades we are going to be replacing. Got a bunch from Rock Auto for a few bucks, so that's a lot better.
Alright, so we got the intake plenum off. Working on spark plugs and valve cover gaskets.
And the spark plugs really don't look this bad in this car. I'll pull one off here in just a sec. I mean, it ain't great, but they really don't look that horrible.
A little schmooey, but
Champion. My spark plug of choice we're replacing with is going to be NGK.
yeah, I think it needed a gasket.
Yeah. We had a nice Felpro one up over there. That's what we're going to be using to hanging up with a traffic light. Came recommended to me by several friends.
All right, lesson number 1 in working on cars. Stop being lazy. Champion plugs. 7 out of 8. Factory Motorcraft plug because it's behind the AC
Zoom in and
compressor.
see that. That is pretty bad.
So
Wow.
I'm really assuming this is a factory one. They just
Yeah,
couldn't get to
it's
it.
back there by the...
Number 1 cylinder.
Yeah. So we're going to be putting these new Felpros on soon. I got the gasket covers,
Yeah, just pure laziness.
or the valve covers, cleaned off. Yeah, working on the last gasket. We got that one all in. All right. Finishing up here. We've got it all back together now, so.
Done.
She's idling a little higher. We're gonna make that a project for another day. We're kind of wrapping up and it's getting later into the night, so Thanks for watching this long video. Big thanks to Kyle for coming all the way out here to help me with this and replace some much needed stuff that had been kind of neglected over the years. So very much so a project car. And yeah, she's getting there. Before I end the video, stay tuned at the end for the view of the front with the headlight flashers. So I'm really happy. We got the headlight flashers done, 90 flash per minute. And this car is complete with emergency lighting that it would have had back in service in the 90s. All they had was the headlight flashers, the code through deck blaster, and the rear halogen deck flashers. So thanks for watching a lengthy project video, and we're far from done.